tonight on BBC One. At 7 o'clock, Tomorrow's World includes a look at the dangers of driving.
Barry, I've commandeered a vehicle.
The old trick, eh? Eat the telly before I get a chance to nick you.
It's a toaster.
Dalek,
You have been defeated. Surrender. You have failed.
Insufficient data.
Nazi ain't got no humanity. They're the foot soldiers of a Jew-hating, mass-murdering maniac, and they need to be destroyed. That's why any and every sumbitch we find wearing a Nazi uniform, they're gonna die.
is this world protected? But you're not the first lot to have come here. Oh, there have been so many. And what you've got to ask is, what happened to them? Hello. I'm the Doctor.
Yes, indeed, Leslie. Yes, indeed. The Doctor Who, when he was really Doctor Who. Man, wow, those days are gone. Hopefully they'll come back one day, right? Hopefully they will return. You're catching me in somewhat, I wouldn't say melancholic, but certainly very introspective mood. A very good friend of mine passed away today. In fact, their funeral was in about an hour's time. I'm not going, right? I'll explain why I'm not going soon. But it's my wife's going. But I won't. Well, one thing, because I'm doing a stream. It was supposed to be at 5 o'clock. When I was at 5 o'clock, I nearly went. But man, ever since I heard this person pass away, my body normally reacts badly, right, to bad news. And like, this is a really dear friend I've known for like a long time. And so I got really sick, right? As a result, my stomach started churning, right? And then when it got moved to late, when they said it's not that kind of, it's going to be later, I'm like, I don't think I'm going to be able to make it anyway. Thank God my stomach started to get better, right? But the reason I'm not going, by the way, is because they get a bunch of kids, and those kids have a bunch of friends, right? And quite well. Here's the thing: for some reason, they moved like a year or so ago, maybe a little bit less, from my local town to this very well located apartment in Jerusalem, but very small, right? Very well located though. And I said, I really miss them, right? I really miss them moving away. The wife who passed away had cancer for a number of years. But, I have to tell you, and I know, okay, I know all of you out there are screaming, Tzvi, this is crazy, right? I know you all are, right? But I really, genuinely thought the, what we Jews call the Geula, like a messianic era would have begun before we got to this point. I really did. Like, I really thought it was going to happen. And with some kind of, I don't know, weird, special effecty, green miley, I don't know, messianic light, she will be healed, right? I'm not joking. I really thought that was going to happen, right? I 100% was like, really, and I'm gutted it didn't, right? Because, like, look, I still hope for this Geula, this messianic age, but man, it sucks a lot more now, right? Like they're not there. Like, it sucks a lot more. So I'm it's introspective. It's a melancholic. I'm not really melancholic, to be honest with you. Although, like, I am going to miss it. Look, I mean, this was a really fun person. Here's the thing, right? And I was thinking about this we had this holiday in Purim, which is a really fun holiday. And I just think how not fun it is to live here anymore. It used to be so fun, right? We used to have like genuine oddball, eccentric crazes that just wandering around being oddball crazy shit all the time. Oh God, I loved it when it was like that. I loved it when it was bonkers. Oh God, it's so boring now. Oh God, the life is drained out of it, and oh my God. So I don't envy the movie for that, right? But man, this one was so much fun. You could be naughty around them. Oh, they're a raucous laugh, right? You know, man. And look, I knew it was getting bad. I saw them. Again, we had this holiday at Purim, and during it, you have to listen to this scroll being read. And they're asking for somebody who could go, who wasn't able to make it to a reading because they were sick. I'm like, well, that's not good news, right? So, listen, it seemed like it was coming, but man, yeah, it really sucks. So anyway, for some reason she's being buried up here, and we have this. Okay, this is how it works. We have this little cemetery. You have to go down this freaking mountain path from hell. It's like, oh God, it's like a ride made by MGM. It's really awful, right? Unless you have room to park, which you don't. Because I think you get rid of the parking to make way for new graves, right? I'm like, really? Can we do the parking and the graves simultaneously? I understand the need to enlarge the graves, right? More dead people. I get it. But can we have some parking as well? Oh, God. So with a funeral such as this, you will probably be parking like right at the top of this hill and have this like massive walk down. Oh, God. So I'm like, no, I'm out. I'm out, baby. I'm not cancelling my show for that. I feel like such a shit. Okay, it's the thing. I feel like such a shit. But man, you know who I'd love to tell about this? The person they're burying. Oh God, she would so relate. That's the thing. You could be naughty around her. Oh, she was awesome. Man, she was awesome. It's really sad, man. It's really sad. What can I tell you? Look, the good Lord has a plan. You know, we do say gums on the top. This is also for the good. In fact, the thing that the Orthodox Jewish thing to say when you hear, which I said today, when you hear bad news like this, when you hear somebody died, it's Brooke Diane Ha'emet, right? When you say blessed is the truthful judge, right? Like you praise God, even in that, you say, look, this is a good thing. It's going. It just sucks, right? Oh man, it sucks so hard, right? I'm really, really bummed out. I am genuinely sad. Because again, I really thought genuinely 100% that there would be a messianic age that would intervene. Oh, look, and honestly, normally when I'm wrong, it's good news. Like. Every other time I'm wrong, it's great news. I'm like, oh, that's going to work out badly. And I'm wrong, it works out okay. Right? Every other time, which never happens. Okay? How often am I wrong? Never. Here's the thing, though. You don't know until you think about it in hindsight. I realized, right, after the whole thing with like the rabbi, my synagogue, and my, the community imploding, right? I ran around for like 2 to 3 years screaming at people, right? Say, look, the only result, and I literally said this to people, the only result of this can be a terrible punishment of anti-Semitic violence. I mean, I literally said that more than once, right? Fuck me, I didn't expect it to come out like that. But like, I know, mate. I know. So listen, I don't know how to do it. How do I get onto that tangent? I can't remember. Anyway, what can I tell you? There's a lot of weird stuff going on. So one thing we do believe in Judaism is the resurrection of the dead. And you know, I don't know what that means, right? I have one theory that they say Adam was one massive soul, right? And when death was introduced into the world, that soul was shattered into a billion shards, right? And each one of those shards is shattered, and each one of those shards is one of our souls, right? So, you know, I had a theory that somehow a resurrection of the dead is a restarting, rebooting of the universe, like rebooting of like us into one being once again. Because, you know, it's really, it's really a understanding the culture war right now, which I think is the entirety of the war, right? I think every war is really the culture war, right? I think because I look at these things in like from a biblical landscape. And I really think the culture war is where the war's at, and that one we're winning, thank God. I mean, the lines of like I'll say the sides now are very, very coalesced, right? And it's interesting because it's a disagreement, right? It's a division between a desire for altruistic goals or a desire for selfish goals, right? I would say like the leftists of however you want to describe them, they're not sane, right? But why do they like socialism? Not because they like the altruism of it. No, they like the abdication of responsibility, right? It's for them. Their unity is for them. Whereas that's why their unity doesn't allow any individuality. Whereas our unity, right? Our unity, like in Judaism, our central prayer is Shema Yisrael, Hashem Elokeinu, Hear, O Israel, God, they say God in a couple of different ways, but God is one, right? One, it's talking about the unity of the universe, right? Which is the central idea, right? The central idea of the universe is we are all one, you know, coexisting organism. So, and you know, I think that's what oneness is, and I thought that's what the oneness of the resurrection could be. But you know what? I would really much rather go the more normative Hollywood route, right? And I could hang out with old friends again. Right, because oh man, again, I really thought we were gonna have a messianic era, man. I really 100% thought it was gonna happen. Oh, I still hope for it, right? I mean, look, the world's a crazy place, right? The world's a crazy place, but it's not as appealing as it was yesterday. Again, I knew she wasn't well. So anyway, the funeral is in about 45 minutes. Yeah, no. And again, God bless her. I'm sure she would understand. I will never eat lemon cake again without thinking of it. She made the greatest lemon cake. That's probably how we bonded. Because I had something like that. I said, who the hell made this cake? I'm telling you. Oh, God, I hope she shared that recipe. That cake was crazy. Oh, that cake was crazy. It genuinely was. Oh, I would give a lemon sometimes to my garden, and it was, oh, God, it was so good. It was so lemony and so cakey and so gooey. Oh, God, please. I get, oh, her daughter-in-law's a good baker. Please, could you have got that recipe? Oh, boy. I look, it's one thing losing my friend, but that recipe shouldn't go out of the world. Oilano. So anyway, there's a thing called Shiva, which I want to try and get to, but that's in bloody Jerusalem. Oh God, I like going to Jerusalem a little bit less than having a fish shoved up my ass. Right? I really hate it. I don't know. Well, maybe we'll do other wonders of WhatsApp. Maybe I'll just clip this out. If I haven't sworn too much, that's what I'm going to do. If I haven't sworn too much, I'm going to clip this bit out. Anyway, good evening, guys. Good morning. He's doing an exam. What was that segue? You know, I used to love that when they did that on the trailers, like today in Info Circus Entertainment Circus, we have Corky the Clown, and then he goes, and then on a very serious episode of Howdy Doody, we talk about when Mr. Skithings asked Howdy to hold his duty. That's a real weird segue. They used to do that all the time on a very special episode of Alf. Anyway, I digress. We got a lot to talk about, right? I've watched Three Body Problem. You know, the problem with the Three Body Problem, it's 2024 content. That's essentially what pretty good in what it is, but it's 2024 content, and that's what it is, right? Three Body Problem, and I feel the same way about the Quinn Dilemma, right? The new Colin Baker release, and it's not bad. It's not woke. It's not lecturing, but it's like not doing anything for me. I'm an episode and a half in. I've had it for a few days, and I'm like, it hasn't really grabbed me. Where I keep thinking, you know what? I'd much rather be listening to the One Doctor. And I really would be. That's the thing. That's really the thing. You know, none of these things are very good anymore. Sadly. Sadly. So I watched Three Body Problem. I watched Constellation. I want to review both of them. Constellation is mature science fiction, right? Feminine, right? For the first time, it's not like slap a woman in the front for representation. No, this is actually a feminine story. Right, that really works. It is science fiction. It's more like science fact. It's fascinating. Right, strong recommend. What's that? Oh, that's the dog barking. Okay, fine. I heard a howl. I was like, what the hell? Yeah, no, that's just the dog barking. So yeah, I constantly. So I want to review that. I want to look at this month's Doctor Who magazine. Rusty Davis has been talking again. Telling everybody how he's enslaved. Right. You are a slave, Ratkiss. You are a slave, Ratcliffe, I should say. A slave to the power of the Daleks. Nah, that's a bad soundtrack. It wasn't bad, but it was bad. Very 80s. Like, very, very 80s done, you know, with a talented man with a sound machine, right? So that is that like you're a slave, Radcliffe? Oh man, I love that. But honestly, for me, by far, the most interesting news in fandom, it's been the Ian Levine interview, which if you haven't seen, mate, that is awesome. Holy shit, is that watchable, man? I might even rewatch it. I remembered every second of it. Ian Levine is freaking fascinating, right? Ian, they're very laudable as well, right? I mean, look, I never really thought about Ian Levine that much before. Like, I knew how important he was to fandom, but I also thought it was a bit of a douchebag, and I didn't really know, and I didn't really care, right? That's really where I was, right? I didn't know anything about him, right? This did so much to humanize him and make him seem like what a reasonable, decent person who's been shat on for no reason over and over again, right? And look, I don't know if his version of events is 100% truth or I wasn't there, right? But it doesn't really matter, right? It doesn't really dent on the weird time-space event that is Ian Levine that's always pushing forward. Man, I mean, the energy he has to push forward with these reconstructions. He talks about his like health troubles he's had, right? And he's older. He can say, I'm done. Leave me alone, right? I certainly has the money, he can do that. I mean, but here's the thing. I forgot he actually laid out a lot of cash. He bought all those missing episodes that would have been junked if it wasn't for him. I really forgot about that, right? I genuinely forgot about that. And like, I don't think he wants to be revered, but he doesn't want to be shat on either, right? And he really feels like Gallifrey Base, which is a shit platform. Oh, that is a shit platform, Ian. Let me tell you. That is a shit platform. Which is a minute an alternative sprung up. Did you notice everybody left it? Like nobody gave a shit anymore, right? And then finally we've quarantined off Toxic Fandom on Twitter. But you're happy. Ian Levine's happy on Facebook now. Anyway, like I feel really bad, but I wasn't won over by his Dalek Master Plan Part 1. I thought a lot of it was fantastic, right? I thought individual bits of it was fantastic and really brought it to life. Like, man, here, let me show you some AI I saw. Let me grab that. That was freaking incredible. There's a few really, it was incredible. This is from Wheel in Space. Let me just, hang on. She cried, jigger. Like, this is like a long clip as well. I have no idea how they did this. 1 second, let me download this. It's really amazing. Okay, this is really amazing. Is this it? Doink. Here it comes. Doink. So, yeah, was it AI who? So, like, I'm just so excited by AI, by the potential of AI. Hang on a sec, Doink. Yeah, check this out. This is incredible. Now that's fucking impressive. I'm sorry. That's impressive, right? So let me see if I can. Where did I put it? I gotta find where I put that. The Ian Levine one. Obviously, I'm not going to show all of it because he asked not to, right? Where is it? Oh, here it is. Look at that! I found it straight away. Right. So look, there's some bits of it that are like absolutely excellent. Things like this are excellent. However, here's his problem. He doesn't have enough source material of images to work from. And so the ones he's cobbling together aren't really working, right? Here's what he needs to do. And I don't think he's considered doing it as yet from what I've seen. Right here, for example.
Hello, Egan. Come in. Charlo, Egan. This is fine.
So, I mean, like, it's a little bit obvious. And I think you could, if you were at a different angle, it would be better. So this is what I would suggest. I would create new telesnap images, high-res telesnap images, basically via AI, right? And you could do that, right? And then face swap it so it is, Ian Levine or whoever, right? It's Nicholas Courtney. And not going to be done better than this, right? Listen, if they can do it seamlessly for porn, and they can do it seamlessly for Doctor Who, right? Like here, the Katarina, right? Here, they use this over and over again.
But we've got to get through to Earth first, or the whole solar system is finished. I know.
Right. So if I could get, Brian Camp, bit of playaway going on. If we can get more images of Nicholas Courtney looking like this via AI, which you can do, you can generate a bunch of them, right? That gives him a much wider palette he can work from to animate, right? Which I think would really benefit the whole production, right? And then again, because the face swap technology I use could certainly do this, and that would be, I think, a major step up without a major step up in budget. I would also love to find out, how can I get a copy? How can I watch The Massacre? I don't want to pay £200 for it, mate. Right? I like, in all fair, I don't. It's like I wouldn't pay the BBC that. Right? And listen, I'll be frank. While I like the authenticity of the Levine ones, I think the quality of the official Shada was superior. You know, I agree with him. Here's the interesting thing about that interview, right? He really nailed it there. I think Sarah really nailed it, that they're trying to get an audience that doesn't exist. They want TikTok Doctor Who. That's the audience they want. That's the audience you're not going to get it, you schmucks. I mean, have you not seen what happened? Right? Yeah, and it's stupid because Doctor Who had a broader audience. Right? Matt Smith and David Tennant proved Doctor Who could have a strong female audience, right? And they really did. And look, I understand a lot of girls get wet over Peter Capaldi. I think he's a sexist too. I know, just like look, I find Catherine Tate the most shaggable of all the modern era companions, right? She's not the most beautiful, but she's certainly most shaggable. Oh, yeah, absolutely she is. I thought about that bit. Yeah, she is. Where's that? Oh, there's the action figure. I was looking for my not Martha action figure that's over there. Anyway, I digress. What was I talking about? I know. Ian Levine. Right. Ian Levine. So yeah, look. I mean, apparently he's working on new stuff. I love his energy and his passion. Right. There's a bit at the end of the stream where he wants to be asked Doctor Who trivia questions. Right, and he's so excited by that. Right, he's so excited by Doctor Who. It's so genuine. Right, and again, look, I don't know what happened with him in the past. I can understand why Eric Saywood wouldn't have thought he co-wrote Attack of the Cybermen. If that is indeed the case. I only know this from like hearsay, right? I can understand that. But I can also understand why he thinks he did co-write it, right? Yeah. You know, don't know what to tell you, darling. Don't know what to tell you. Anyway, let's get to the chat. Look at that. We're right on time. Doink. Share screen. There you go. So I'm using a new AI right now. It's really good. OpenArt.ai. I bought a subscription to it because that lets you use not safe for work words. Which bought this beautiful Nicola Bryant Minnie Mouse. I'm very proud of. Right, I worked long and hard for that. Here, let me show you the arduous process we went through. Right, to get you the only the finest, ladies and gentlemen. Doink. Yeah, this was one of the original AI renderings. Right, it was beautiful woman. Prompt was something like beautiful woman with dark hair, thin waist and large breasts, wearing a tight red polka dot dress with a bow in the middle of her head, with a red bow with white polka dot in the middle of her head, and large Mickey Mouse ears, with her hands on her hips, looking at the camera, smiling. Right, I think that was the problem, and that's what this what came out with. I'm like, well, that's pretty good. That works pretty well. Then we have to start like Nicola Bryanting it. Doink, right? And that kind of works, right? Actually, it does kind of work. And Lily went with that one, right? I think I went with a variation of this, but it wasn't bad. Okay. Was this the one I used? This was similar to the one I used, I think. I can't remember. Let's have a look. One second. It's a black bow, right? That's how I knew I'd recognize it. So it must be, yeah, I used this as the model for it, I reckon. And so this turned into Nicola Bryant. Doink. There you go. Yeah. And is that the one? And then I use, again, this new AI, OpenArt AI. It's very good. Then I can you see how so this is the original. Then I fine-tuned it by running it through a different face swapper Check this out. It's really subtle. Can you see the difference? That's before. This is after. It's such a tiny difference, but it really makes a difference. It's fascinating, right? And that's like, so there you go, Nicola. I think, yes, you look fantastic. What we have coming up, ladies and gentlemen, by the way, because I like to try and get the Saturday one done today. We're going for a King Kong theme, right? Scotland, darling, you wore my favorite outfit. That can only mean yes. The Rabbi is streaming. Yes, it is Scarlet. This works perfectly for me. I don't know what the headlines will be, but I'll work that out tomorrow. Sorry, this is going to be up tomorrow. Stephen Moffat talks some sense. Dumb ideas of the new era. Toxic fandom, always good for a laugh. I'm sorry that I like my stuff so much, but I think it's worthwhile liking, frankly. Anyway, future proof, yeah, that's Rossi Davis' cunning plan to make Doctor Who last forever by making it gay shit. Okay, Russ, there you go, mate. Always thinking. Please, Mr. Mouse, maybe have some more. Nicola will do anything you want. Yes, I will. I'm ready for Hollywood, baby. I get a feeling a lot of Nicola's actual life has been like this, right? I mean, she actually talked about, like, when she was in the 70s, somebody was coming on to her, like, for a part. I'm like, it's like, she's like, I'm literally in my 70s. Is this ever going to... Here's the thing, Nicola. You just... Look, there are women out there that exude sexuality, right? And Nicola Bryant does. I don't know why, right? Gillian Anderson's another one. Exudes sexuality. You can't turn it off, right? I don't know. It's like you give out more pheromones. Like, it might be something that when you were squeezed into spandex on screen, I was just hitting puberty, right? That may be, you know, and you were, yes, as I may be ashamed to admit, trapped in my spank bank forever in a very sticky way. Good for you. It should have been shooting, obviously, if we're talking about Hollywood, but I don't know, maybe they want to eat her or something. Who knows? Who knows what the weird shit with bastards in Hollywood do now? I don't know either, right? I don't know. But I do like OpenArt.ai. They had a face swapping bit, but they turned it off. I think they should turn that back on. And then, look, it's so much better than Midjourney right now. Right? Midjourney has got so much censorship built into it. This is great. If I want Donald Trump, OpenArt will make Donald Trump. Right? Exactly. Well, this worked, right? Fine. With that, let's get to the chat. Got an actress here. This being Rossi Davis and Disney. Shouldn't that be Shooty? Exactly. Well, the Shooty already is. Yes, did you buy Doctor Who and make me an icky princess? Oh, they would. Because I'm the stunning and brave one that brought the glass ceiling. Oh, icky thump. That would happen. Yes. I have no doubt, right? I have no doubt. Oh, God. The only hope for Doctor Who is somehow an age of sanity comes across us, right? And we're able to make another alternative production at the very least, right? Where we can say, okay, if I was given the keys to Doctor Who with an unlimited budget, here's what the Rabbi would do, and I know you're all going to agree. Firstly, would have it'll be cheaper. And we'll have a main season of 12 episodes and a Christmas special. Like they fucking used to. Oh. Yes. If you could do it in 2005, we got to go back to doing shit that way again. If you can do more for cheaper, do that. And the quality was fine. Okay? Everything about it was fine. So stop with it, right? Stop. I mean, you got inflation, but come on. All right? Well, inflation in the last few years is going to be a lot. But up until like 2 years ago, there was no inflation, right? For like 10 years. I mean, more than that, actually. It was like zero inflation for a long time. It's like, I don't know. So I'd have a main show going, but I would have it kind of nearly a reboot, right? He wouldn't know who he is or where he comes from. He'll know how to use a TARDIS. He'll know what Cybermen are. But he wouldn't know how. He wouldn't know where he's from, right? And he wouldn't. And this would be a new universe, so things would be different. However, I would once or twice a season and build up to it. Right? He may do it more like have glimpses of traditional Doctor Who, like a Troughton, like a image of that fades, right? Like, whoa, what's that? Right? And so something like that. And then you have that as the main show. Then I would have Capaldi, right? I would have him do, ultimately, if he'll do more, I'll get him to do more. I would have him do four-part seasons, right? But essentially, that take place in between seasons, what was it, 9 and 10, right? Because there's a lot more room of the you can do stuff in that, which is where he could even put more in. But anyway, the idea is this: I would like to also have like specials. If I can do a Matt Smith once a year, like just once every 5 years, something like that, right? David Tennant McCall. Okay, we're done, David. Okay, take a seat. Fine, forget get a Eccleston. Yeah, something like that, right? I would also love to do at Christmas a Peter Cushing Doctor starring either Pierce Brosnan or Mark Gatiss. I go either way on it, right? I think both would be delightful, right? But that's my vision. But basically, I would have it build to a thing on the stuff outside of the main show, building up to, and also in the main show, building up to including what's going on, which will be the universe got rebooted and he's the Doctor, but it will just, you could just like hit the reset switch essentially, right? And I think it needs to build up its own mythology again, right? Which is what I think it did with everything from Eccleston to Capaldi, right? Even though Capaldi, with the Day of the Doctor, right? Whether you have them all share a scene, which I think that was reasonably important, right? No, sir, all 13. But basically, you would have to say everything post Capaldi was a regeneration crisis, right? It could have been like anything, could have been different universe. It doesn't really matter. Universe had to get rebooted because everything was going squiffy because you had all this weird shit going on with Jodie and David Tennant. Just write all that shit off, right? Yes, garbage tip. Anyway, all hell, says Lonnie, you're doing all hell. Noddy says, Noel says Jodie Whittaker is coming back. I wouldn't be surprised at all, right? I wouldn't be surprised at all, right? I just like, what about this? A friend of mine passed away. Who just started? You missed it by about a minute. Boy, how's the war going this week? Says Lonnie. Thankfully, quietly. I don't know. Are they waiting to the end of Ramadan? I don't bloody know. Right? It's like they basically got to work out a thing to deal with all the civilians. I mean, and the longer they're there, the better things get for them. Honestly, I have no idea, right? I have no idea. Have heard my son for about a week, so but I'm sure he's okay, right? We would hear if he wasn't. Rabbi, do you have a DeviantArt account where you can post all your hot female thumb? No, you know what? That is going to come to my Substack, right? Because I've just finished off doing I can't do that. Doctor Who Millennial Rights in audio, read by an AI Colin Baker. It's fabulous, right? So on Saturday, I'm going to post all parts in a new playlist. But I've remastered them all. I'm going to take all the old ones off and put the new ones on. I'm uploading now. And it has, it's by chapter, right? So you get introduction and chapter 1. That's like 45 minutes. And chapter 2 is another 40 minutes. Goes like that, right? So I don't know the full length of it, but that's dropping on Saturday, right? It's really good. I'm really, really, really happy with this, right? But now there's, if you want the audiobook version, sign up to my paid Substack. It's $5 a month. Anyway, that's going to move on to a calendar of the month with, and maybe like a montage of the best thumbnails. I don't know what I'm going to come up with, right? But it will be Rabbi Smut. I'm not sure how we're going to use it, but not for the male gaze, we'll call it. Yes. We're so at the end of the episode. Hello to you. We're up to fine. Zero Titus is here. How you doing, sir? Thank you for joining us. Source Magic is here. Look at it this way. You'll be in the front when the missing age. Well, that's the way I do look at it, right? I said, as is right and proper, baby. As is right and proper. Fine. Perhaps ironically, a lot of what I know about Judaism comes from sci-fi, specifically Babylon 5. Yes, well, Babylon 5 is actually quite good. She wasn't Jewish though. What's that? I mean, her character was Jewish. Ivanova was Jewish, but she wasn't Claudia Christensen was a shiksa. I hate to tell you, darling, and she had the shiksa vibe, right? I wish I could say shiksa like my daughter. The Israelis can say it in a really demeaning way, shiksa, like in a real demeaning way. But she really was like, you know, I love seeing the extras like Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom, where Steven Spielberg is hooking up with Kate Capshaw, who's like a 6 foot tall blonde cheerleader, looks gorgeous, right? And he's like this little Jewish guy, and he's just like saying, "I got me a shiksa." Yes. Yeah, because she's very shikstress. I mean, God bless her. Looks very good in the opening number, right? Which is in anything goes. Lauren says the Ian Levine interview was amazing. It was like prime, awesome entertainment, right? I absolutely loved it, right? I know a video of Sheldon in Big Bang Theory telling an African American dean she is a slave to emotion. Oh, wouldn't that be awesome? So it's got on to Bobby D75 is here. Bobby was saying that Space Babies in Shooter's first episode for season 1 might be by Generate. Oh, fuck off, would you? Please, Russell, with you. Off with it. Oh, off with it. Oh. Yeah. Rabbi, can you show us what AI can do in prawn? I believe you would. I just don't believe you would have. It was prawn. Rabbi, can you show us proof what I can do? I can't believe that, but no, I can't. I'm not. I haven't. I've seen what they've showed on other things, right? But like, yeah, look, it looks like Scarlett Johansson. Like, really, that's incredible. Rabbi was going to tell us that Dawn French is not shaggable. Dawn French is not shaggable, right? Neither are Saunders. Neither of them at any point in their lives were shaggable. I'm sorry, right? Even when Jennifer Saunders got her tits out for that movie, that wasn't very good. The comic strip movie. All the throws thumbnails may your brilliant talent be perfect by living to the attorney. Well, that's what I'm hoping for, right, Matt? It's a strange little Venn diagram of talent. Congratulations, it's been MII for a minute, family stuff, but it's good to see all your fun. It's good to see you too, congratulations. Thank you for joining us, right? Thank you for joining us. Obviously, in 15 films, Rusty will check out Disney will drop from the streaming service. It will take a $200 million tax off. Yeah, and that's the best case scenario. Okay, if you want to count Can Crashers, then sign up my Substack, right? My Substack, $5 a month. It's a coming. If you get in there today, tomorrow, you also get this very cool full book on tape, right? A lot more. We'll get into it. These Missy R says, I feel a rabbi whose girls and fantasy females calendar would sell rather well. It could be a magazine, baby. Be a monthly. It'll be called Not for the Male Gaze magazine. The rabbi's monthly edition of Smut. What about news stories in like naughty sergeant spanked my privates? Yeah, from the front line. Amro, how are you doing, Amro? Thanks for joining us. So where should we go first? Shall we go a bit of news and then go into Doctor Who magazine? Yeah, sounds like a good plan. There we go. Doink. Where should we go from? Yeah, take it from The Guardian. It's your choice, baby. Man. Guardian. So, this is what the granola eating cunts of the world think in unison. They must look at themselves a minute and say, am I a granola eating cunt? And the answer is yes. Yes, I am. Therefore, the Guardian is you. Yes, I'm happy. Oh, I'm so happy. Oh, Russell's got his little thinky face on. Ooh, I think I can. Good for you, Russell. Good for you, darling. Russell says that the end of BBC is undoubtedly on its way. Do you know why the end of the BBC is undoubtedly on its way? Because it will face a reckoning for all its woke shit. If it was the BBC of 2015, 2020, 2015, or 2010, or 2000, it would never go under. If it was the if it was the BBC of yesteryear, it would never go under. The woke shit they relentlessly pile out is why nobody's has its back. Nobody's happy to see it stay other than you granola eating crunchy assholes who have lectured us. Man and woman. I'm so here. One sec. Can I play that scene? I think it's when we talk about it's worth. Do I have this on MP4? I think it's worth, reinvestigating the crimes, right, of Russell Davis. Because again, this was really awful. Imbecile. Oh, what was it called? RTD. Let's see. Do I have it here? Starbeast. Fine. Can I get that clip? There we go. I hate all of this, right? I hate all of this. Do they have the answer yet? Where's the one second. Is it here?
Her own name.
Oh, the shit!
Stop. I hate every moment of this. Yeah, it worked so much better when it was not this. Here. Is this the infamous line?
But there is a way to get rid of it. Something a male-presenting Time Lord will never understand.
Look at that! I came right into that. Look at the smug. Oh, fuck you! Why is this inspirational?
Just let it go.
And we choose to let it go.
Yeah, not all the special effects of the world can make that performance. All music can make that performance work. Sorry, darling. Here, where's the... here it is. Here's her line where she says she's stunning and brave. Oh, God, I hate this so much.
Closing down all psychedelic lightwave emanators and transferring excess power to the broken dome prefixolators. Mum! Can you hear me? Mum! Doctor! I think it's safe for you to come down now.
Rose? Too much power for one person, but you had a child, and the meta-crisis passed down. A shared inheritance.
Binary? Non-binary.
Oh, fuck me. Oh, so cringe.
Binary.
It was always there, shining out of us.
I can't. Okay, fine. Yeah, this is why it sucked. I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm sorry you're so proud of yourself. This is why it sucked. Right? Fine. So that's why it's going. Okay. The reason the BBC is going down is the same reason Disney's going to go down. I think the BBC might outlast it. It's got to 2027, hasn't it? I think the BBC might outlast Disney. How about that? Didn't it just lose $1 trillion in its settlement out of court with the state of Florida? It literally lost another $1 trillion. Yes. You know what? I feel like that guy from Vengeance on Varos, right? When he's like, there's a second or third vote against the governor, right? Like, yeah, he's going down. He's going down. He goes and takes his wife's or his cellmate's vote. So they're both, yeah. That's what I feel like the BBC, right? Same thing with Disney, mate. Same thing with Disney. Rosie says the end of BBC is undoubtedly on its way. Yes, it is. You fucked it up. You fucking morons. Right? You socialist, absolute moron cunts. Yes, you fucked it up. Dr. Shomron is trying to ensure that the fantasy drama outlasts the broadcaster. Again, but it's this. Yeah. Look, if Nelson Peltz takes over, Nelson, mate, give me a call. I'll get Doctor Who sorted out. Like, don't worry. I'll have it ticking over. I'll do Marvel for you as well. I don't even like. I'll do Marvel and Star Wars. I'll only charge you $10 million a year, right? All right. I think that's very fair. Do you know how much money I'm going to make you? Oh, $10 million a year. It's a deal. It's a steal. It's a sell of the fucking century, mate. Come on. I ain't like. I'll charge Star Trek that just for a consultation, right? They fucked that up so much, but I can fix it as well. Man, we can fix everything. 10 million a year, but especially Doctor Who. Yeah, I'll get that sorted out for you. We'll get Toby Whithouse in as a showrunner. Somebody to get. If he doesn't want it, we'll find someone. I think Toby Whithouse is the way to go. We'll get working on past Capaldi seasons. All things are going, right? All things are going. I'm saying getting information in. Fine. So let's have what he's got to say for himself. According to the head of one of the BBC's most successful franchises, that again he's like butt fucking it right now. Oh, Jinx Wilson, you know. The broadcast end is inevitable. You see your demise. It is inevitable. Dun, 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 dun. Speaking on a podcast they like to watch, Doctor Who showrunner Rossi David explains there's a good reason for the fantasy drama being co-produced with Disney. It means it's survival doesn't require the continued existence of the BBC. Honestly, I don't think it does. Anything that's a saleable property, I think is safe. I think Doctor Who is a saleable property. And that there is an alternative production of it being made is amazing to me. Like, why is there not an American production of Doctor Who? I'm sure that, I mean, that'd be really interesting in of itself. All right, but yeah, there's a lot you could do with it. Anyway, speaking of, you got to look at the long term at the end of the BBC, which is undoubtedly on its way in some shape or form, says Davis. Yeah, again, because you screwed the pooch, right? You look at all the fucking lecturing and propaganda you slip in and fucking everything. That's why do you think nobody watches EastEnders? Oh, you have my Biden friend asked me if I was watching Kirby Enthusiasm. I said no. Every 10 minutes, it's a Trump. It's like a Trump derangement syndrome joke. Like, get over it, you cunt. Just get over it. And I mean that with all just get over it. Okay, it's time to get over it. You were wrong about everything. Trump was actually good. You just got to get over it. It's just called reality. Hate to break it to you, man. Jon Stewart had this real meltdown because he's just a dummy. You know, he had this thing. Can I find it? I'll get to it later. It's also going to like, no, you've got to prepare for that kind of stuff. The lack of a lavish BBC budget is another reason Davis claims Doctor Who's future requires this involvement, particularly in a world where high-budget production are increasing the norm. That norm's got to change. If that norm changes, everything gets better. If budgets stink, everything gets better. All right, and you have to rely on writing again. If Disney collapse tomorrow, I have to go making Doctor Who on the normal BBC, but you know what? We would rally around and make it, and suddenly the stories will become claustrophobic ghost stories. He says, "Okay, whatever it is, it is." A lot of people would like that very much. So I'm not saying you have to have this happen, but it's happening elsewhere. I think it's unfair that it doesn't happen to Doctor Who. Well, fuck it. I don't care if it's not fair. Who cares if it's fair? Yeah, the strongest and the best survive. Right? I mean, that's the bottom line. David's going to run an interview podcast with Jeff Lloyd and Sarah Barron on topics on Carrington script writing, the unlikeness of Disney creating Doctor Who style experience, given that their previous card experience closed due to the lack of profitability, costing taxpayers 1.1 million. The Doctor Who's been at cost had lost a lot of money. It wasn't really run properly. I hate to tell you, and also Doctor Who wasn't really run properly. Sadly, you know, it should have been more successful. Davis also claims that the success of his Doctor Who reboot, the BBC doesn't have him contractually tied down. Fuck off then, please. It's like a rolling contract. It's very free. Look, if I had enough tomorrow, I could walk out. Well, I wouldn't walk out because I wouldn't let people down. But nothing could trap me. I wouldn't be in a situation where I had to write things. He says, "Okay, that's great." Again, Toby Whitehouse, hard handbrake change. Don't try and maintain the continuity. Say again, make it a reboot. I'm not sure that's going to happen though. That's not about to happen. I love it, but I think both Disney and BBC are going down. Frankly, right? You're going to start making shows that appeal to the audience if you still have that opportunity. That's the thing. You've really screwed the pooch in this, mate. You've really, really screwed the pooch, right? You know, in many ways, right? In many ways. Let's have a look at Doctor Who magazine. Man, we are going to, I think Sunday show will be going over this very in-depth article with Millie Gibson. So, I have to say, Doctor Who magazine is just shit. Right, it's really low quality shit. Firstly, Millie Gibson cut out like this is a function in Photoshop. It's like dink, and it happens, and it's done. It's not even done particularly well, right? To give it the purple background. This is just lazy. It's lazy. It's just a lazy production, you know, and it's. I wish I could give it a better recommendation, right? But I think that really goes all the way through. It's just like what's the name? Jason Quinn, the new editor, strikes me as like a very weird seasoned pro, right? Who like he kind of like Jock Buchanan from A Very Peculiar Practice, right? Have you ever seen that? Like jaded alcoholic who's trapped in this like weird life. But yeah, this is a really, really poor cover, really low quality cover again. And they were so proud of that one with all the they put all the issues over the console. Yeah, look, Jason, again, God bless you, mate. I just think you've been in this game a long time. Anybody in the publishing game, the British magazine publishing game, with this long, you're an interesting chap, mate. You're an interesting chap. What can I tell you? Yeah, look, they try their best, but they can't make Millie Gibson not look gorgeous. She is freaking stunning. She's absolutely stunning. And they really try to make her look not gorgeous. Right? And boy, here, look at that. I love the... fans won't be expecting what happens next. Well, you got fired. You weren't expecting it. We'll read Rusty Claver's column soon. Maybe we'll come back to that. Gallo Friend Guardian, here it comes. Man, they have really, really disinterested me in this whole production. Right? Again, it just seems like TikTok Doctor Who. Your cosmic joyrider waits. Why is it all about your joy? Right? Why can't it be about, your responsibility? I was saying this in the beginning. The cultural war that's going on breaks between a selfish worldview and an altruistic worldview. Like the socialist utopia they dream of is where they don't have the responsibility, of earning a living on them, essentially, and also they've been conned into thinking it will give everybody everything they want. Like it'll be an equitable system. They don't realize that they consume far more than they should. Right? They haven't worked that out yet. Dumb fucks they are. Gen Z certainly has. Man, they're like, fuck me. This is what life is like. They're in 24, 25. When they see everybody getting these huge, all these illegal immigrants getting huge handouts, right? So anyway, it's a very altruistic versus a very selfish worldview. I think I think socialism in general is always like jealousy of what other goes. Whereas altruism, you have like a collective, but everybody's unique in that because you're all working to the same goal, which is to support one another, right? And it's not, but you want it. You don't want to. You want to get the best you can for yourself, right? I mean, like you want to go. You don't want to bully. You don't want to break the rules, right? But you don't want to. You want to do better than your competitor, right? And that's fine, right? That's fine. It's not. Because that while that's also better for you, it's better for the whole. To push for everybody to get the best they can means everybody pushes to get a lot more for themselves, right? Which pushes society generally. I think that's how Thatcher Britain really worked out to be such an economic boom. More than anything else, it's just like the conditions were that you could make money and if you worked hard, right? Oh, God, Russell, what are you doing? Extraordinary and terrifying talent. I'm so fucking sick of this. You keep telling me how wonderful everybody is, and you fire. I'm like, you're full of shit, mate. Russell, you were just super full of shit. So we got Dame seeing a number of other cast members. Callie Cook, who played Shelley in BBC Three's Hempocalypse. Now, is this a woman with a penis or not? Because I'm gonna be looking at funny. Yeah, it's a thing, mate. I'm sorry, right? Yeah, I'm like, I don't go for the chicks with dicks, right? I think in a general show, because I think generally speaking, normative human beings match their sexual organs, right? And those who don't, they shouldn't be ostracized in society. They shouldn't also be taught is the norm. Right, and you've been doing that a lot, Russell. Right, God bless you, love your religion, whatever. This is interesting. Terrence Lick's Target adaptation Destiny of Daleks, first published in 1909, just 2 months after the TV series. I remember that. Will be released as an audiobook in October. Man, I might be up for that. Along with the April release of The Horns of Nyman, also by Dix. It can release the BBC Audio's release of Tom Baker's penultimate season. John Castle will be reading it, says producer Matt Stevens. Matt Stevens does a lot of good work. He's once again giving us his Davros and following on from his narration of Doctor Who and the Genesis of the Daleks. The one and only Nick Briggs will be fighting the Dalek voices. I really got to check this out because I have to tell you again, my consumption of Big Finishes is in the toilet, right? It's really in the toilet. I'm not optimistic about this Dark Gallifrey series. So we got Living Wealth actor Dane Cyan Phillips, the starring. Okay, she was an eye Claudius. They're very excited. Okay. Callie is absolutely front and center of the most challenging material. Blah 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 blah. Waterloo Road. It doesn't say. Doesn't say BAFTA, but yeah, they're going to give Doctor Who a BAFTA for by generation. Oh, what is? Zero recruits working in the script department. David Chung and Hila Hamadi. Okay. Hila has a better picture. Okay. David Chung, bit douchebaggy, mate. Bit douchebaggy. Yeah, I really wish I was enjoying this more. I really do. I really do. So we got the trailer. Doctor Who 100% Unfounded Theories on the new season. Okay. Who wrote? Say this is exactly what Jason Quinn is like. Very tabloid and stupid. I really wish I was enjoying this more. Right, I just find it a bit confusing. But maybe I just start listening to it again. Right, I don't know. It's good, Leela. Hello, Leela. Louis Jameson with Guy DeBeek replica of Leela. Okay. That's fine. Anything new? No. Nothing really leaping at me. Look at. I'm really looking forward to the my season 15 Blu-ray box set arriving. It's in the country. Very exciting. Is there anything going on in the Who to? Look, this Celestial Toymaker looks like it's going to be shit. The other thing I'd like to ask Ian Levine is what he thinks of the Callum Weston Celestial Toymaker, which I thought was excellent. Judy Gatwa has a good time at the Oscars. He had a better time at the party later when he was busy coming on Elton John's chest. Bonnie Langford really appeared in the One Show. Matt Smith, talk about this later. I like Matt Smith a lot. Rusty Davis fucking everywhere. Missy regenerates. So that's interesting. I should check that out. I didn't know she survived Dr. Falls. Well, she knew she was going to get shot. That she probably just has some shielding on. So yeah, this is like we are going to go on Sunday, right? Sunday we will do this whole Ruby Sunday interview, right? Yeah, but they really try to make her look not gorgeous, right? But yeah, this is a long interview. Ben Cook is normally very good at writing up the interviews, so good for him. Also, this thing's going for a long time. It's an interview with Davina McCall, right? This is like 4 pages for like that, like blink and you miss it scene, and then this looked like another filler for who is this? This is one of Doctor Who's executive producers, Sophie May Twose, already has a ringside seat for the episodes we'll see next year, this year and next. Speaks to Simon Courier. Okay, so she's like an whatever. Fine. So what's this? Simon Gurris, now he's writing this instead. This is about the creation of Stooky Bill, right, in real life. This is a really boring idea. I mean, Simon Gurris is a good writer. So he talks to the people who made the Stookies for the... okay, this is... Bloody hell, how many pages is this? Bloody hell, they go 2... 4, 6, 7-page article on like, come on. This is a 2-page article. Would you piss off? Man, well, I wish Big Finish would just have AI reading books on tape of these, right? These are Sylvester McCoy ones that are going to be lost for all time. They have all these Sylvester McCoy tapes. They could so make it. What's this? Gallifrey Rises. Oh, fuck off. Gallifrey 1. Gallifrey 1 can fuck you or fuck yourself up the arse. They always like to bang on about how loving and accepting they are. They're not. They are political cunts. They are full of bigotry or dislike of the unlike. Right? They all pretend to like Jodie Whittaker. They love having their rainbow badges. Fuck off. It just, I can't imagine anything I would like less than going to the Gallery convention. Whose House? What's this? Mark Lewis takes us behind the scenes at Henry House, a very special show crammed with Doctor Who alumni. So what is this show? Henry House? When's it on? Ranford Mid-Worlds. Sophie Audrey. New location. Let me explain. Henry House is a new comedy drama series set in Wrexham Care Home, revolving around the unlikely friendship that develops between a dizzy young receptionist, Orla Jones, and a new dementia PTSD. Wait for it, Peter Purvis. Patient Peter Purvis. So it's got do a picture of Peter Purvis. Don't see him. Okay. Oh, there he is. Right. Okay, so Peter Purvis is in it. What makes the new series relevant for a particular magazine? This particular is a host of Doctor Who names in the cast. Alongside Peter Purvis, we have Katie Manning, Carol Ann Ford, Sophie Audrey, Cyber Fisher-Becker, Annette Badland, Jacqueline King, Colin Spall, blimey, Ian McNeice. This is a great cast. Mark Benton, Bhaskar Patel, and Colin Baker. Production manager Luke has also wrote me in to play a patient during my ties with Doctor Who. Who wrote this? Mickey Lewis. I've no idea who he is. Having appeared in 22 episodes as an iconic monster, Dalek, Cyberman, Sea Devil. That's interesting. Okay, fine. So there's a TV show. Bunch of Doctor Who people are in. Okay. That's a bit weird. Colin Baker looking a bit rough, right? Let's see if I can spot anybody else I recognise. No, Nicola Bryant. I'll say Sophie Aldred. Sophie's doing a lot of work nowadays. I don't look, she's doing something else. Is that Colin Spall in the background? I don't know. I don't think I care. I don't think I care. What's this? What's that about? Yeah, something with Michael Jason. Who am me? As we get closer to the launch of the new season in May, Doctor Who creator Beth Axford recalls her own story and tells us what makes Doctor Who special for her. I will give that a read at some point. That actually I'm intrigued. It's just like the order of the magazine. That should be towards the back. The Telltale Hartnell. So this is an interview he gave that never got released. So there must be some offcuts, clearly. And then why is this over here? Like, it really annoys me. Why can't this be at the front of the magazine where it used to be? Like, I really hate it over here. Like, I really genuinely do. Mandit Gill, along with others, joins Jodie Whittaker on the jury for the previously announced Empower Film Fund, an initiative aimed at championing Billy Piper plays Sam McAllister in what? Scoop is Sam McAllister's 2019 novel with Prince Andrew begins on Netflix on April 5th. Man, Prince Andrew's got the boot put into him a few times now. It's got Keely Hawes in it and Tim Bentnick. I don't know who that is. First part of the series of Bridgerton is that I couldn't care less. Bunch of people in that. Leave me alone. Who done it? I don't know. Who cares? Leave me alone. Leave me alone. Fine. And then again, why is this over here? It's just annoying. So this actually is quite an interesting article about the model maker. Yeah, you might get me reading that, right? You might get me reading that. Do I recognize it? Oh, he worked on Alien, I take it. Or Prometheus. Where's the here? Oh shit, over here. That was a model shot for Alien in 79. Okay. I thought that looked too good for Doctor Who. Oh, he worked on Moonraker. Okay, you won me over with Moonraker. What's that from? Dalek ship takes off from Tranquil Repose. Blimey. I didn't recognize that. Dalek ship from Revelation of the Daleks. Well, at least he had a constant design aesthetic. That's interesting. Okay, you got me to Now, man, this artwork is just shit. I mean, it really is. Like Lee Sullivan, like just stop with it. It's like he can't cut it anymore. He's too old. What was it? 6 pages still? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, man. It used to be like 12 pages. Woman Who Lived. So here, the problem with The Woman Who Lived is that first picture, right? It looks stupid, right? It looks stupid. She looked like a little girl. Like, I'm sorry that she looked like a little girl. And even though she's in her 20s when she made this. What's the name of the actor again? Here, let me look her up. Arya Stark. Arya Stark. Aye. Let's have a look. Arya Stark. I want to find Arya Stark actress, I think. Let's try that again. What's the name again? Arya Stark actress. Is played by Maisie Williams. So what year was she born? Duh! Everything is a nightmare. So she's 26 now. She was born in 97. This was what, 2016? Yeah, 2016. So that is 8 years ago. So she was 18 then, right? She was 18. And she looks young. Right? That's the the basic problem with it. She looks young. I think I've got to give a thumbs up over there. Doink. Yeah, and that's really why this episode failed. She just didn't look. It didn't work with her being like 2,000 years old, right? And I thought, the idea kind of worked, but like, I think this is much more of a novel, right? And they're great. I kind of like the idea of the Doctor having this immortal body, right? That's an interesting plan. It just didn't really work, sadly. Right, and it was also very melancholy. Who wrote it? Does it say? Alan Bars wrote the article. Does it have a info thing at the end? No. I mean, here. Here's the thing that annoys me at Doctor Who magazine. That looks as I go to my library. Let's try and find the one. Titles, start with that. Doctor. Try and find one where they talked about a Blu-ray box set in the past. Right, is it this one? Let's have a quick look. Because it was so much better a publication. It's crazy how much better it was. Is it this one? Yes. Right. You would have this feature on when you had a new Blu-ray box set out. You have like a blurb about it, like a 2-page, and it's actually something written with a bit of like depth to it. Then they'll go through disc by disc what's on everything, right? It's like, oh, this is actually useful, right? I would like this. No, too much bloody work nowadays, right? It's I don't know. Look at this review of it. It's just non-existent, right? It's really disappointing. And I haven't got mine yet, so I can't read it. But yeah, blink and you miss it. I liked what's this called? Revolution in Space. Yeah, I thought that was excellent. Third Doctor I don't care about, and this one I better Ninth Doctor I don't care about. Yeah. This was actually quite good. I'm enjoying. They got two of the Sontarans versus Rutans up here, and both of them have been good. I enjoyed Planet Doom as well. Right. I think that got me to buy it. I think. Let me look up. I think I bought it, right? Because if I think it was good enough, because I listened to it like by a legal download or somebody said it to me. I can't tell you how, right? And here, one second, my account. And if I would have bought it anyway, yeah, I bought it, so therefore I must have liked it. All right, it was okay. Right, it was okay. Torture don't really care about. Okay, whatever. Clockwork crossword puzzle I'm always bad at. It doesn't matter how bad a cheaper crossword. Let's say down. Number one down is 4 letters. A false-grown clone that Cassandra created to serve her. Oh, what's the name of that thing? Name of that character? Oh, bloody hell. Based on a favorite pattern. Well, what's man, I don't remember at all. So you see, I'm shit at these. Audio drama, Dream Team, don't really care. Quintilemma, I'll review it when I finish it, but I find it missable. Who's reading Horns of Nyman? River Jeffrey Beavers, nah, I can live without. Fine. And I got a really bad feeling about this now, based on like how bad this cover is. Like this was, I mean, like that they said okay to this is it's like it's shit. Like it's really shit. I've ordered the first one. In fact, I want to look at that. Some Big Finish news because apparently the War Doctor's coming back and not in Sontaran's versus on Dark Gallifrey, whatever. So they talk about the fifth TARDIS crew going up against the Dream Crabs. I like the Dream Crabs, but I don't think you can use them that often. Frankly, Paternoster Gang, kind of. I don't really like them at the time. I'm excited to hear John Carey back as the War Doctor. I'm sorry. It's not because she's black. I think she was hired because she's black, but she is not selling to me as a Time Lord. Like I don't think she's going to sell that role. I think she was hired because she's back. 6 favorite stories with all the right notes. You got a Jodie episode in there. Fuck off. Eve of the Daleks. I like one of the best she did. Who wrote this? All right. I mean, I would listen to that. See what your argument is before deriding it. Okay, this looks like such cheap shit. There's a good chance I'm going to drop this magazine at this point. Right? It looks like such cheap shit. I'm really quite like taken back like how shit it is. Who's writing this? Jonathan Morris and Roger Landridge. It feels lackluster. Everything feels lackluster about this. No matter how hard they try, they can't make Eleanor Crooks look like she's a Doctor Who companion. And boy, do they try a lot. So I don't know. Let's have a look at this issue. This is a pretty shitty issue. I have content I will make out the Millie Gibson article. But if I didn't, like, I know she's been fired. And, like, I'll be reading it because I'm interested in know, like, because she's been fired. That makes it more interesting. But Davina McCall, I wouldn't read that. Stucky, I might start reading the Stucky Bill one, but probably not. The producer's assistant. Yeah, no, I super duper don't have to suck his dick, right? No, super duper don't have to suck his dick all the time. Yeah, I'm just super hot as a coinky dinks, right? It's just a coincidence, right? That I tell you, he says I have great things in front of me. Yes, you do, darling. Yes, you do. So the story, man, it's just a long article. Like I know I'll probably start reading that and get bored. Who House and I've seen what it is. Don't care. Gallery want to fuck off. Who and me? Okay, that sounds reasonably interesting. Hartnell Telltale. I would give that the first page and a half to grab you in. Flight Engineer. That I would read. Finally found something I would actually read. Girl Who Lived. Sorry, no. Oh, maybe I would if I was on the loo, I guess. and it was there, something to read. The reviews, not really. This is a shit issue. Right, this is a shit not a recommend. Man, not a recommend at all. How much do they charge for this shit? I know it's cheap enough that I don't cancel it. But how much is it? I look up Doctor Who magazine. It should tell me. So how much do they print offers? $2.92 an issue. That's if I think I pay a little bit more because I get like a 6-month subscription. I think. Right? I think. Yeah, sounds right. So I guess for $2.92, I would say okay. Right? I guess I would say okay, but man, and that's because I get content out of it. See, here, look at this issue. All right, let's compare. Great cover, like a genuinely good, well-designed cover. That's what the difference. Bit of Leela. I'm okay already. Oh, the anticipation. Yeah, it just feels like, it's less cocksucky, less shit. Right? Okay, fine. So this stuff. Letter from the showrunner, Galaxy 4. I can't find this stuff. Can't really tell. Production, thank God that's gone. That was boring as hell. That nobody cared about. Notice everything in its right fucking place. Oh, so much better. So Joe Collins. This is actually a good interview because I'm interested about because he's much more of a visual guy, right? What's that show he's plugging over there? It's Dark Materials. Yeah, I didn't really like it. Got bored with it. I mean, it looked nice, but fair. Don't really care. What's that below? Muppet Treasure Island. Oh, okay, that was pretty awesome. Shades of Fear. Fuck off. I didn't really like this feature. Oh, okay, yeah, good article. You don't get this. A good article written by Jonathan Morris, who knows how to write, about Chris Boucher. This was a genuinely good article. I was really sucked in by it. Who were? But yeah, look, I don't think there's anything this quality in the last few months. Right? I really don't. The Watchers Extra. Archie and Mike Nicholson attended the Warriors Elite recording in the people who watched Doctor Who being made at Television Centre. Yeah, apparently this is what Ian Levine used to do. So yeah, this annoyed me. Hi, I'm a lesbian. I'm a lesbian too. Oh look, there's a sea devil. Yeah, it was just annoying, right? 6 over 60 years. Yeah, that would seem like. Again, I say filler, but better than the filler you get, the boring filler you get today. Fuck me. Fact, fiction, rumors of death. Okay, that's just a better story, mate. I hate to tell you, okay, I'm much more interested. And yeah, reviews are reviews, mate. Reviews are reviews. I'm gonna fuck off. So glad I didn't buy that. Oh God, I got that on the promise that the 14th Doctor will be good. Thank fuck, I didn't get that. Oh yeah, this is where we came in. All right, everything was better quality. It's just tap, mate. Look at that great cover. Really good cover. Nowadays, it's just been tap. I know. Not a recommend, mate. Not a recommend. Fine. Let's have... we've got a few things to look at. Let's look at War Doctor Rises. So, Jonathan Carey stars in a new era of full-cast audio dramas from the War Doctor, announced on Big Finish today. So this is exciting, because, look, if you haven't heard his War Doctor stuff, apart from the last 2 box sets, they've all been very good. He sounds exactly like John Hurt. I find it indistinguishable, right? Yeah, it's very good. It's very good. So the Doctor disavowed the Time War, disavowed Time War incarnation first appeared by John Hurt in 2013. in the TV episode, the name of the Doctor Night, the Doctor Dead Doctor. Hurt later reprised his role for 12 audio stories. Yeah, thank you, Big Finish. One of the best services they've ever done to Doctor Who, right? I really believe that. Giving the War Doctor a full season, right? Matching Christopher Eccleston, really filling him out. I so appreciate them doing that. In June 21, Jonathan Carey took over playing a younger version of the Time War Begins. They can have him playing the same age. To me, it would make a difference. He sounds right? Now, beginning in August 2012, will reprise roles in the War Doctor Rises. The War Doctor story will continue as he faces the ever-increasing horrors of the Time War. Right? David Richardson says the young War Doctor is now establishing himself, so we're heading into a different territory for the War Doctor Rises. I'm really glad they didn't end the range. I'm very excited about that, and they really should have said when they were, because it felt like they're running out of energy with it, especially with the last two ones that I thought were shit. Please, no more Case. Oh, fuck off with that. Heading into different territory for his era for the War Doctor Rises. I wanted us to hand over to the writer. Each box set will be one writer's vision. I like that plan, provided it's a good writer, right? But that, man, I like it being. You know what? I think they finally got the message that we're interested in writer-led Doctor Who, right? We're not interested in, this diversity-led Doctor Who, right? I think we're interested in a writer's vision. Okay, you know what? I support this idea, right? That's why I like Dr. Alex, by the way, which I heard my episode that he put together. It's brilliant. Like, no. Look, I obviously I think my writing's very good, but it's very well recorded, right? He really did a good job with it. So I'm really excited. That goes out the same night as Shooter's episode. So I would like to see if I can get other people to review it. Right? That'd be really hilarious. Like if I get other people to review it and it's like better than the Shooty episode, which honestly, episodes, I think it will be. Right. Okay, so I'm actually up for this. Fine. So each one will have a vast sweeping movie for audio, richly developed characters and deeply imaginative worlds. There are no boundaries on creativity, no pressures to tie up a story within an hour. We've recorded 2 of them so far, and I promise you it's working beautifully. It's, you know what? Okay, here's why I like this. It's actually moving the range forward, right? It's doing something interesting, and it was kind of floundering, right? It really was floundering. This is excellent, right? I'm really happy about this. Okay, let's have a look. Fine. So the next chapter, War Doctor Begins, it's about the character finding himself and coming to terms with the choice he's made, which I find a fascinating story to explore. The identity crisis the Doctor has had, now he's going to have a harder edge. He's going to have learn to let go of his past identity, and now the mission to deliver what he set out to. So he hasn't really done anything mean yet, right? We've seen when the John Hurt played him in this season, a sorrowful Doctor. But we hadn't actually seen anything happen, right? I would like to see what leads him up to the destruction of Gallifrey, right? I think that's probably a good story. Where are we up to? Jonathan Carey. So it's harder because he's learned, and now he's on a mission he wants to deliver. He set out to. The longer stories add a whole different dimension in terms of scale and storytelling. I really love this idea. It's a really good idea because we can really dig deep, not just in terms of the plot and going into the complex landscape of the Time War, but the characters have a rich part to play in it, have done so far. We can really explore their experiences of such enormous conflict. So Time War Rises, you get it here for £22 download, £18 physical. Let's have a look. So they're going to, it's a writer-ridden series, but they're not telling you who the writers are. That's a real bad idea. But yeah, I'm pretty much sold on this, Right, Jonathan Carey, Soundhouse. Yeah, I'm pretty much sold on this. 3 discs. That's good. So it's like one story over that. That's really good. It's like I like this plan a lot. Yeah, 1 second. See, the War Doctor. Do a quick. I'll do a quick review. Right. So this is really, I think, probably one of the best one. Only the Monstrous. Page turn. There you go. So this one was all written by Nick Briggs. This was like this was after the time after he'd like done terrible things and he's looking to be left alone. Infernal Devices is about what was it? Different weapons of war, right? That they come on. Do I remember any of these ones? Legion of the Lost. In the Time War, victory must be explored. In the Time War, the thinkable. Blah 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 blah. So yeah, this is all Neverland. This is all dealing with different Time War weapons. It was excellent, right? Agents of Chaos is different Dalek and Time Lord agents, and Casualties of War when things are fucked up, right? So then you have War Doctor Begins, where he's newly regenerated and somehow finding his footings. Tell you, 25-22 for this compared to 32 is really good, right? So you got the first one where he's like just regenerated. Then you got Lion Hearts by Lou Morgan, which is one of the best things she wrote, which is about the Thralises. Thralis, I think they're called, from Warrior's Gate. And Shadow Squad, I can't remember what that was. But again, this is like this is basically like the first few episodes of a Time War TV show. They introduced Case, which I really wasn't a fan of at all. Was it box set 3? Yeah, this is box set. Yeah, this is box set 2. All right, which is a super cyborg soldier, stunning and brave, and it's very 2024, right? But again, it's more what life. It's more like the War Doctor and countering the Time War. Like, see, this is him finding his feet about what's going on, and then this one's more about him getting to know his different allies in Time War. This is a great story. Temosis. This is fantastic by Rossa McPhillips. One of the best things she's done. What else has she done, Rossa McPhillips? She's freaking awesome, right? It's about a foul spaceship that the Doctor designed with a chameleon circuit. Man, they want her writing more. She's excellent. Why wouldn't you have her write more? She's really, really good. Right? Here, did she do anything terrible on Twitter? Let's have a look. Rossa McPhillips Twitter. This is normally what else should tell us what's going on. Is this it? Rossa McPhillips? No. Is this it? Come on, Chris, interview with Commander and Doctor Who writer Ross. Oh, it's because it's the bloke. There you go. I think I've worked out what's going on. He's a bloke. Oh, he really is a bloke. That must be it. Okay. Man. I bet you that's what it. He's great, Rossa McPhillips. Right? It's about a stealth ninja, and the fourth box set is excellent. It's basically Apocalypse Now with the War Doctor. So this is on his first real mission inside the Time War, right? Sets 5 and 6, fucking awful. Forget them. Just skip them. I'm telling you, these are all like this is a 2 box set story about Case, the stunning and brave cyborg Dalek who's the key to everything. Fucking awful, right? Fucking awful. Leave that one alone. But I am excited about War Dogs going back. I really am. Another thing I'm excited about, Sapphire and Steel have been re-released. Man, these are excellent, and I think they're priced much better. So Sapphire and Steel, you know the famous David McCallum, Joanna Lumley. So Big Finish did 3 seasons of these about 10, 15 years ago. And then they lost the license. So I'm really glad they're coming back. It gives me hope they would come back with the Tomorrow people, who I'm not sure did Fremantle and Sapphire and Steel as well. I don't know, but I'm glad. I'm really glad they're back because it was a great little series. I not as good as the original Dave McCann, Joanna Lumley version, but it was. Yeah, for me, it lasted the amount of time it should do, which I don't think was an infinite amount of time. So Big Finish acclaimed audio drama based on the ITV Studios sci-fi fantasy series Sapphire and Steel are now available to download for the first time. Excellent. All irregularities will be handled by force of control in each dimension. Tasmaric heavy elements may not be used where there is life. Medium atomic weights are available. Gold, lead, copper, jet, diamond, radium, sapphire, silver and steel. Sapphire and Steel has been assigned. So if you know what I'm talking about, that's what it was. Played by PJ Hammond, who was originally broadcast from 1979 and 82, starring Joanna Lumley and David McCallum as a pair of interdimensional operatives tasked with protecting the flow of time. Each story would see them take human form as they showed up at a new location to investigate a dangerous anomaly. Yeah, man, it's so good. Man, it's so good. It's the trouble is, though, it's designed to be watched at 20-minute episodes a week because a good 5 minutes for each episode is recapping it. So you get like 15 minutes of it. And you get like, it's really done on a cheap budget, looks fantastic, gives you the chills. Fantastically directed. Oh, it's so good. So between 2001 and 2008, Big Finish released 15 full-cast audio dramas starring David Warner as Steel McCallum, and Susanna Harker slipped into Lumley's role. She was nowhere near as slinky as Joanna Lumley. That's probably, look, Susanna Harker isn't like a disgusting-looking human being. She's not sex on fucking legs that Joanna Lumley was, right? And she, look, again, one of the people that just exudes sexuality. Joanna Lumley, Nicola Bryant, Diana Rigg, who else? What's the name? Scully. Gillian Anderson. Some who just exude sexuality. Susanna Harker is not one of them. God bless her. I wonder who would you have placed Sapphire? Man, that's a good question. In today's market? And I don't know. I don't know enough actors out there. So for three audio stories, the original TV star David Collins returned to recreate the role of Silver. It was excellent. Other notable guest was Mark Gatiss as Gold, Colin Baker, I don't remember him, Sarah Douglas, Richard Franklin, Andrew Bruce, Arthur Bronson, and Louise Jameson. The audio series was only ever released on CD and hasn't been available for more than a decade. Now in ITV Studios, it has been re-released, giving fans a chance to listen or indeed discover the adventure for the first time. Again, can I just reiterate how good these are? Each series comes with a brand new 30-minute behind the features scenes featurette, offering insight into the production of these beloved adventures. I don't need that. You had a little making of on the end of each disc. 3 stories. The 3 series are available by exclusively early bird for the first month. Series 1 of 5 stories for £20. That's the right fucking price. That's the right price. Right? It really annoys me you get it wrong a lot. But there, you like £30 for, I don't know, a box set. No, but that's the right price. You get 1, 2, 3, and there's a bunch of discs. There's like a bunch of these are like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then you get like 8 discs. Like you're paying $2.50 a disc is your sweet spot, I think. Yeah, so I think that's the right price. The 24 for season 2 and 19 for season 3. Where we're up to. So we're delighted to have reached an agreement with ITV Studios to bring back Sapphire and Steel, released as downloads. We have received regular requests from over the years to be made available again. We are pleased that a whole generation will be able to hear the late great David Warner as Steel, Susanna Harker as Sapphire. It's good news, right? This is well done. Well done, Big Finish. Nigel Fairs, who produced the series, added, I'm absolutely delighted people will be able to hear our version of Sapphire and Steel. And again, it developed an identity because it went on a bit too long, right? Yeah, you could hear. We'll talk about the stories in a second. But I'm glad they finished it when they did. And they finished it in an interesting way. As it was really a labor of love, reimagining such visual television series for it was very visual, but it was also very cheaply made for audio, was no easy task. Well, I think he did an excellent job, but I think my decision to concentrate on the emotional story arcs of the characters who encountered time and our two agents brought some really tasty, fruity David and Susie were great, the perfect lead. Yeah, no, I think look, Nigel Fairs absolutely did a very good job with this, right? Yeah, again, $20, that's the right price. It really is. And the recording sessions are amongst the happiest I've had a Big Finish. Great at time. Yeah, this was Big Finish at its best. Man, this was Big Finish when it was really, really rolling. Heavy element, except that neither Sapphire and Steel were actually element. Yeah, it doesn't matter. It's all bollocks, mate. So Series 1, Passenger was a really good one set in the chair. All these ones are good, right? One set in a train, one in a lighthouse. Well, the lighthouse. The schools I remember being quite scary. I think season 2 went on a little bit too long, but then season 4 had a very strong arc, right, where the elements were disappearing, and you heard that in the titles. It was really clever, right? It was really clever. Was it Mystery of the Missing Hour or The Perfect Day? I can't remember. There was they had they recast the main characters at one point. It was a really solid series, so I'm really glad it's coming back, right? I'm really glad they got that back. That is good news, right? That is indeed good news. Fine. What should we look at next? We looked at Big Fit. I think that's all the news, isn't it? Look, this is only news because he's so good at being a gay masturbatory fantasy. Apparently, he wrote that, but I have no idea. But it sounds like it's a great title, Disco. So good on you, Gareth David Lloyd. Right, good on you, mate. Right, what do we have to look at? Hang on. Doink. So we talked about this the other day about Stephen Moffat. Hang on one second. I thought we had something new over here. Let's see what they have to say because. Oh, 1 second. Forgot. Yeah, let's read this, and then I've got to talk about Constellation, and I've got to talk about Three Body Mystery, right? And then we've got to talk about those things. So earlier this month it was confirmed, blah, blah, blah. So first, this is what he says. I don't know. I think it's slightly foolish to think your job is to reflect society. I don't think it really is. I know people always say it is, but why? Thank you, Stephen. Oh, for saying the Emperor's got new clothes. No, Doctor Who hasn't really changed much during the course of the years. Yes, you're right about everything. Do you really want your television just to broadcast agreement in your face? Yes, they do. Yes, and the people who Adi Tatamith, or whoever his name is, who wrote this, who was this? Written by Ray Fluke. Yeah, they just want agreement transmitted into their face. That's the only thing they want. Yeah. You know why? Because they believe bullshit. right? They really believe relentless bullshit. Where we up to? So I say, yeah, do you just want your yes, you're right about everything. Here's your world. I don't think you just try to tell exciting stories. Moffat added, okay. Doctor Who is very much the Doctor Who. I can assure you. I don't know. Like, I just think it's going to be like have lots and lots of gay shit. I just think that's the way you're going. And I look, Ruby looks great, Millie looks great, but like, I'm trying to be as open-minded as possible, right? I am really genuinely trying to be as open-minded as possible, but man, it's really hard, right? So I'm not saying that in a good way, baby. Finally, close down some windows. Doink, doink, doink. Doink. No, I'm not going over there. Do I batting in the comics open? I don't. Oh, there it is. Doink. What the hell's that? Yes, I haven't looked at this for a few days as he was in the news there. Microsoft Gaming CEO Phil Spencer admits recent Activision Blizzard layoffs were partially undertaken due to falling industry profits. At least Marvel's Anti-Mackie bizarrely claims the MCU is limited by comic book canon. There's only so much creativity you can bring to the table because Stan Lee gave us so much content. I think that's a bit of a misnomer. Yeah, I think that's a bit of a misnomer. Stanley gave a lot of content, but like that's when it was really working, when you try to faithfully adapt that. I mean, look at Thor. Kenneth Branagh's Thor is such a faithful adaptation of the Jack Kirby, Stan Lee Marvel in a modern context. It was fantastic. Black Girl Gamers announced illegal action against entertainment news outlets that Park Place over recent reports of suggesting video game diversity consultant company engaged in discriminatory hiring practice. Oh, okay. Well, there was Disney got a new lawsuit slapped on them, right? Okay, the Crow actor Ernie Hudson, the Crow, I thought he was in Ghostbusters. I don't know. Fine, you know what? I forgot. Oh, God. Transfer of the Umbrella Academy actor Elliot Page claims the rights of LGBTQ offenders are being revoked. No, they're not. Like, I wish I could, there's no sanity. Fine. What should we talk about first? Three-body problem. Three-body problem. Let's find some pictures of it. So this is a really, okay, this is a much better one. Fine. Copy image address. Where is it? Copy image address. Oh no, that's the original Chinese version. Three-body problem. Characters, maybe. Yeah, one second. Copy address. Yeah, we'll open that up. But like, is there not a characters? That's a really good image. I have to tell you, that image is. I think it explains it. Three-body problem. Characters. Netflix. Do we have a is there like do we have any of them like, oh, here we go, at last, yes, copy image address over here. Oh, and I think I found a better one. Where'd it go? Over here. Where was it? Oh, I just saw it. A character one. Is it this one over here? That one's not bad. Oh, where is it? I literally just looked at it. Oh, that's crazy. How was it? Close that. See if I see it. Characters. It was a picture of what's his name? The guy from Game of Thrones with the like a VR headset on, and I just totally vanished. Like where did it go? Is that a good one? Yeah, okay, fine. We'll try that. So, oh, for God's sake, really? Copy image address. Paste. Thank you. Ron, disgrazia. Fine. So, three-body problem on Netflix from the creators of the Game of Thrones, very much so. So, this is solid. With interesting ideas and new ideas and original ideas, which I think are all strong. Going in an interesting way with good characters. My problem with it is that it's still not a story, but it's content, right? This seems like today, instead of having like a story or a season of stories, right? Where you have like, imagine a meal where you have like a perfectly balanced, amuse-bouche, appetizer, main course, wine with it, and dessert, all planned as one thing together to work together in unison, and everything being an individual course in of itself, right? And then, but making a much bigger whole, right? That's what storytelling used to be like. Now it's much more akin to a soft serve ice cream thing where you just go and you pour a bunch out, dunk, and you press stop, and it's the end of the episode. And you keep more, and there's another, and then like cliffhanger to season 2. So that's its biggest drawback, right? That even though it's a compelling story, reasonably well told, well cast, with great set pieces, and yeah, well with good direction and good acting, it still can't escape from its root as content rather than story. And it's really weird how that comes out. However, as a piece of content, I found it solid. So again, here's the thing though. Having watched the first season, do I feel enriched by watching it in the same way I felt enriched by watching anything like Sing Detective or I don't know, Are You Being Served for that? That's ain't real. Claudius. What else is there? There was a ton of like really great shows. Edge of Darkness. Do I feel my Star Cops? Do I feel that my life has been added to by? No, it doesn't. It feels like it was content there to keep me quiet, right? To occupy me rather than to inspire my mind, right? So that's really my problem. Having said that, it was a good piece of content. It was a solid piece. It was 8 episodes that wasn't too long, right? And it spanned a good number of characters. So let me give you a bold overview. It starts off. So this was a Chinese book. So there has been a controversy that this was very pro CCP, pro communist China, and I think there is. There's some elements in the writing of the book that, the sociological elements of it where people can't help but have pride for their country and their way of life, right? It's how we're hardwired. So I think that is there, but I don't think this is pro CCP at all, right? So it starts off with a really stunning scene of a struggle session during the 60s of the CCP China, where a physics professor, so I think a physics professor, is forced to wear a dunce hat, and then is berated for not denouncing science. Again, exactly like the rainbow community does today, right? This is what all that anger. This is exactly what the rainbow community would do if they had power. Right, this is exactly what they would do. This is the morals they have exhibited. Right, so they say renounce your science, and he's like, no. It's like and they ask him to like say God doesn't exist. It says science doesn't hasn't been able to answer that question either way, right? So his wife comes up and denounces him, says, thank you to our children for showing us their way. It's really horrific. And anyway, so eventually he's beaten to death, right, by this communist Chinese girl in front of her daughter. So it basically becomes the daughter's story, right, for a lot of that afterwards. So then she's... you see her life, and she is in a labor camp, and eventually she's assigned. They move her to a They move her to this like massive radio telescope, and they need her scientific ability for some kind of mission, some kind of black ops thing, and they're not really sure. So at the same time, you have all the other characters being introduced. You got what's his name? Wong. I can't remember his name. The big fat Chinese guy, or big fat Asian looking guy who's playing a London cop, who normally I don't really like. Is he the same guy who plays here, let's look him up. Three body problem. Is he the same guy from what's he called again? Benedict Wong from MCU. Right, Benedict Wong. Where is he? Don't. Because he's actually really good in this, right? I'm not a massive fan of his, but he's really good in this. Yeah. So he's shit in the MCU because he's there for his ethnicity. He's really good as a London as a British. Well, you think he's a cop, and then it turns out to be like a special forces spy. And you got this stunning and brave scientist woman who is way too hot. Wait, do I have a picture of her? See if I can find her. She's like the main character for a lot of it. Where is she? I can't believe that she's not on this. Anyway, she's way too hot, and she's like this super wonderful scientist. Oh, there she is, right in the center. She's starting to see these numbers before her eyes, and other people have watched have seen these numbers before their eyes, and there's been a rash of suicides with like super intelligent scientists. Okay, so then as things progress, there's some kind of VR game that they're introduced to that's running the whole thing, and it's and that's where you're introduced to what the three body problem is, right? The three body problem is it's basically trying to solve a math problem, but trying to understand the inner dimensions of it, right? Which who is it? It's this Chinese woman and the bloke from Game of Thrones. They work it out. There's a great cameo from the other League of Gentlemen, Mark Gatiss and Reese Smith as they have a way of solving the issue, but they don't really see what the problem. But that's a great little cameo in this like VR world that you spend like the first half of the season. So then again, this is a mild spoiler. If you don't want to hear it, go away. Right. So then it turns out that the woman from the 1960s China made contact with aliens. Essentially, she found the aliens found one of her signals and said, "Don't contact anybody. They will go there and they will destroy you instantly. Keep silent." Now, because she hated the CCP, she worked out that you could, if you transmitted to the sun is like a transmitter, and it makes your mess is much bigger. So that's what she did. Come and take us. She said, "Come and destroy us." Right. So about halfway through the season, you find out that aliens are on the way, and they're the ones who are controlling everything because they're super powerful, but they're 400 years away, right? So then you have different factions working for different people. We've got Jonathan Pryce, who's very good in it for like 20 minutes. And there's an incredible scene. Oh my God, horrific. And I don't really understand how it worked, of a ambush on a giant vessel. I'm not going to tell you what type of vessel it was. That will be too much of a spoiler. Right, but when it's sliced up by these invisible microfish, it's incredible, right? It is an absolute incredible sequence. I really like that, right? I really like that. At the same time, You got other characters. You got other characters who are dying. Other scientists who are dying of cancer, and this friend of him who's dying, who's also a friend of the guy from Game of Thrones. And it basically works into an end game where there's humanity versus these super intelligent aliens in a few hundred years' time, and different ways of going about attacking that. The trouble is that I found the series finale cut somewhat flat. It didn't leave you with a feeling of optimism or hope or horror. It didn't leave you on a natural cliffhanger. Even though it is a cliffhanger, it just left you going on a bit of a downer, essentially, right? It needed to give you an uplifting hope for the future that this is worth fighting for. And again, I think that's because it's the approach of not telling a story, but rather having a soft serve ice cream approach to just splodging out your story, right? So I said, even though this was good, this was I would say solid in a lot of ways. It's just it's worth watching if nothing else is on, right? I certainly went through the whole thing, right? So is it a recommend? Not really. And I wish it was, because I think it deserves to be, but just not really. Which is a real shame, right? Which is a real shame, which I wanted it to be better. But what can you do? What can you do? So let's talk about Constellation. Again, that's a really great poster. So 1 second. Constellation TV show. Pull out some eye candy from that. It's a very bad picture, right? I have to tell you, that's a very bad picture. Because Constellation looks fan-freaking-tastic. Oh, my God. It just looks gorgeous. There's all these scenes in of space. Right? Is there any images of that? Because it's stunning, right? It's genuinely stunning. Where is it? Yeah, 1 second. Copy image address. Doink. Man. There's really, again, for such a visually beautiful show, there's very little there that, I think this is worth finding the trailer for. Even though I've downloaded like a bunch of times, right? I really have. YouTube. Constellation trailer. Where is this? Fine. 1 second. Doink. Doink. There we go. Download. Again, not that this show is very superficial in that it's very visually orientated, right? But the visuals of it are so freaking breathtaking. I feel the same way about Master of the Air, which I've really got to get back to my rewatch of to be able to review it properly. Probably there's too much on, right? Now 1 second, download. Here we go. So yeah, this is it. Again, on 4K on your big screen TV, it's stunning.
I miss you so much.
I miss you too, Mama. Will you be careful out there?
Always.
Okay, fine. So that I think sets it up quite nicely. It's starring Noomi Rapace as a female scientist on a European space station that has an accident, essentially killing some people, but and she's got a struggle. She has a struggle for survival to get back home. So it's very similar to gravity for the first couple of episodes, right? And again, that stuff is just realized beautifully. Numi Rapace is the star of it, is freaking awesome. Now, again, for this show is very rare in that I find it genuinely interesting, intelligent, mature science fiction, which you really don't get very often nowadays. Not only that, it's also feminine. It doesn't just have a female lead, but it actually has a female story, and you shouldn't be put off by that, right? Because it's not woke in the slightest, in my opinion, right? I think it's this has always annoyed me by this like call for representation, which it just never works. Representation has to be organic, right? Paul Tozen's found it very boring. Oh man, I was really up for it, right? I really love these 8 episodes. Yeah, it's a slow. It's not a regular sci-fi show it's a sci-fi show for sci-fi nerds. I was for like science nerds, which a lot of them out there. But also, it's a very feminine story, which at its heart deals with the bond between mother and daughter in a, I would say, reasonably profound and beautiful way, but told on the backdrop of, again, an incredible space story, and then goes into an incredible science fiction story. So the space story is essentially, again, this accident in space, and it's very, very compelling. As she basically has to stay behind and do all this repair work on a escape capsule, so she's going to survive. Right, and she's got the body of one of the former crewmates with her. Again, the zero G stuff is so great, right? It's absolutely totally convincing at every moment. So there's more going on, because you saw them at just before that accident, them putting this big chip in something. It's basically the middle to the end of the series turns into Schrodinger's cat, the TV show, right? So when Numi Rapace finally gets back to Earth, everything's a bit different, right? Her car was red, now it's blue. Her daughter is different, right? Her husband is different. She's been having an affair, and she loves her husband. She cannot imagine ever doing these things, right? So they think she's going crazy, or she doesn't understand what's going on. And there's more of a research into how space is tied in with mental illness and things have gone badly. It doesn't really do much. In the middle of the accident, she finds that there's a Russian cosmonaut that's been dead in space. She finds that's the thing that hit them. And so what I would say the bulk of this show is about, turns into, once you get over the initial came from space drama, is there is this experiment to see if you can make two quantum states coexist simultaneously. So essentially what's happened is there's two slightly different, and you work this out pretty darn quickly, there's two different versions of reality. And they're very subtly different, but they are different, right? They actually are different. And in one version of reality, as it unfolds, the person who died in this version didn't, and Numi Rapace did in the other one, right? And so you have this other whole thread of reality where you see what's going on there. Another main character is Jonathan Banks, who designed the scientist, but in the other reality, he's also kind of a scuzzy person. So you have that schism going on, right? But essentially, you have at the heart of it a mother who knows her daughter isn't her daughter, a daughter who knows her mother isn't her mother, right? And you also have the other daughter who's mourning the death of her mother, who is longing for the mother that. Oh, yeah. How can I explain this? Oh, God, this is so complicated. You got Earth A, you got Earth 1 and Earth 2. In Earth 1, you have Numi Rapace survives the accident, and the black guy, whatever his name is, who's actually very, very good in this, doesn't, right? She comes back down to Earth, and she's in the wrong universe, right? In Earth 2, you have Numi Rapace dies and this guy survives. But it's the Numi Rapace from the Earth 1 should be in the Earth 2, right? So the daughter's longing for the daughter, and it's all essentially is a story of coming to terms with that. Now, I don't think that was too spoilery. I hope it wasn't, right? Because it's there is a mystery at the heart of it, but I think that mystery just kind of gets annoying and in the way by about halfway through when it's obvious what's going on, right? It's obvious that reality has, you actually can work out from the first episode, right? That reality has been split into two tracks. But again, the heart of the story and beyond the visuals are stunning. The visuals are breathtaking, and it's worth the entrance fee for that. But beyond the visuals, right, the story is the emotional story of a mother dislocated from reality, right, and trying to connect back to her daughter, right, and actually finding ways of making that happen, right? Yeah. So for me again, it's really interesting, intelligent science fiction. It's not sci-fi, right? It's not Rebel Moon. This is the opposite of Rebel Moon, right? I think quite venerable and definitely worth your time. So I certainly, of the two, decided between that and Three Body Problem, this is absolutely the stronger of the two series. Three Body Problem is certainly more watchable, right? So I think that's how it breaks down. Fine! With that, ladies and gentlemen, with that, let me show you what we got coming up. We have Doink. Speaking of Red Moon, here we go. Doink. Share screen. We have we've done the what's it called again? The trailer reaction. This was the night show. Oh, Nicola, looking so fabulous. Yeah, so we got the Rabbi's calendar. Is certainly going to be coming out very soon from my Substack. You're more than welcome to it. Scarlett Johansson looking fantastic in her Fay Ray outfit, right? There you go, Scarlett. Why do we need Scarlett? By the way, I was trying to do a King Kong one for Saturday, right? And then Scarlett looks excellent in that one. So I couldn't get AI to give me a good woman tied to two pillars in a in a primitive bikini, right? It just wouldn't do that for me, man. I have to find that right prompt, right? I have to find that right prompt. So that's Saturday night. Tomorrow, a bit of Doctor Who news walk Saturday night, more fun and festivities. We were there. Okay, who knows what we're going to talk about? There's always too much bullshit to talk about. Fine with that, ladies and gentlemen. With that, I'm going to wrap up. Thank you for joining me. I'm going to hit the end broadcast button and say good night, good luck, and may your God go with you. And that was